Okay, we're here at my drawing table, and when I do drawings on paper on my drawing table, I like to use masking tape to hold it in place because my drafting table's up at a slant. And we're using just a regular piece of paper and a pencil. Right now I tried to break up the wolf's body into some basic shapes to help the process of drawing the wolf out. And we're going to start with a circle for the head, and we're going to make the head come down to the neck, and we'll put a second circle very lightly just to know the proportion. You want it about the same size. Then from this first circle we'll come down and wrap around that bottom circle, and that's going to be his chest area. And from this side of the circle just come straight down, just a guideline. So now we have the head attached to the neck coming down to the chest. Alright, and then I found, while I was trying to work out my form, that we can bring this from the neck probably just in line with the bottom of the first circle. Come out a little bit and drop it down. Make a sort of a triangle. That's going to be the shoulder area. And then from this same point at the top of this triangle, we'll come down and make another triangle shape and bring it back around. So you have the two circles connecting to this triangle, connecting to this shape. So it's bringing lines out from this point. And then we'll bring out one more from that point and wrap it. So these are kind of the same shape. Alright, so that's the main body of the wolf, and it's kind of going back in space. And then we have the chest right here, so now we're going to build the legs. So make a mark on how long you want your wolf's legs to be. So we have a guideline. So we can make each leg about the same size. So from this one is the shoulder. This is the shoulder right here. This is the feet going to be right here. So we can bring this line down. And that's a basic shape of the leg. I like to come from the back of the foot and make an inward cut, circular inward cut on the heel, and then bring it up. And then you can come over here and give them some toes. So this came down. This formed triangle came all the way down, and you can make a little indication of the shoulder. So yeah, the front leg, and we'll put this back leg, we're going to pop out a shoulder, and we'll bring it down just like the other leg. You can keep it simple and just two straight lines, and then kind of flare them out at the bottom for the feet, and draw some toes. the cutouts for the back of the foot. Bring the chest down. Right here is going to be his center line of his chest, and we can give it some hair. This is the belly, and this is the hind leg. The hind leg kind of sits on the side of the belly, but since it's going back in space, we can't really see the whole area. So we can also just do a cut on the back end, because this won't come straight down, or you can start by putting it straight down and then bring the cuts on the back end. Give them some toes. And we have the front side of the back legs, and we need the other side. That's going to be covered up by this front leg. The body coming back around, wrapping around, and we'll smooth this hard edge out. And then can't forget the tail. Bring the tail out, one straight swooping line, and then a little below that bring another swooping line out to give it its volume, however thick you want your dog's tail to be, your dire wolf's tail. And you can wrap it around to give you the shape you want, and then you can add in some jagged lines to indicate the hair. So just two swooping lines to give it its form, and add some jagged lines to give it the indication of hair. And with hair, you can spend all day doing all the little bitty lines for hair, or you can just give it a couple jagged lines, a couple straight lines to show that it's hair, and your eye will adjust for that. So now you got the whole body drawn in, and you can make any adjustments you want to make it look more finished. And we can move up to the head. So we have this circle for the head. We'll draw a cross on the circle so that we can have lines to place the features of the face. And we'll start with the eyes. They're going to be just kind of almond shaped and angled up. They're going to be angled up, and then they have some little lines going down towards the front of the eyes to indicate where his snout's going to be headed. And we can come down and give him a nose, and that's the distance is just going to be up to you how long you want the snout to be, but let's not go past the bottom of the circle. And the nose is, I'm just making a sort of a triangular shape, and you can fill it in if you like. And then he has, for his front of his mouth, he has a little upside down Y. And this is kind of his lips connected to his nose kind of thing. And from the, so now we're going a little below the circle and we're going to give him his chin. And this chin, we can just make it swoop up and out. So that's kind of like a flared out U kind of. So it's a U and then you can flare out the tips, and that's going to be the dog's face. I keep saying dog, but dire wolf. The dire wolf. So we have his face. Now I need to put the ears. We can come up to the top of the circles on the edges to get the placement of the ears. And ears are kind of triangular in shape. So we come out, you make your ears as big or small as you want. Come out with a arcing line up on top, and on bottom we're going to do a swooping line. So start wide and then swoop in to the tip of the ear. That gives you your basic form of the ear. And then we'll bring an interior line to give them the inside detail, and we can give some little spikies for the hair that's fluffing out of the ears. And depending on how you want your dire wolf to look, you can keep his head smooth, or you can give him some jagged lines to indicate hair, and come around and you can keep his, we're going to bring these sides of the circle down and they're going to trail off into just his open chest. And if you want your dog smooth, then you can keep the line smooth, or you can fluff out his face with some jagged edges to indicate hair. So that's the head. Now you can fill out his neck a little, bring another little swooping line down from the circle. And on the front of the circle where we had the chest, we just bring that down. We can have a extra swooping line just to give it more volume. And so this is basic form of the dire wolf. You can clean up your pencil work now to get rid of any of the construction lines. And clean up the line work. This is why having it taped down is handy also, is you don't have to worry about the paper moving around while you erase. Alright, and now I'm going to get one of my inking pens and ink it in for you. This is gonna be just having, once you have the form, then you can have fun inking it in and giving it extra little flare. Give him some volume to his fluff. And it's just the hair that I'm making is just a jagged line, and then trail it off with a couple unconnected lines. I'm not gonna connect this right here. I'm gonna leave a little gap so that it kind of blends these areas together. And inking is just going over what you've already drawn. I'm going to make these lines a little straighter. Alright, so we got the legs in the front. Well, let's fill in his face. Give him some little, in the eyes, I'm giving a glare by not filling in the whole dot of the pupil, so it's kind of looks like a crescent moon, and you get that feeling that there's light glinting off his eyelid. We could do the same with the nose. If you leave a little open space, it'll give insinuate that it's having some light reflected off his shiny nose. Then we have this line that's kind of like an upside down Y for the lips that wrap around the snout. Goes back up to the side of the jowls. Then we'll cup it around, so it's just a U. There's the face. You can give them some more details if you like, as much as you'd like to spend on it. Give them just a couple lines to indicate eyebrows. It's kind of hard to see eyebrows on a dog because or a wolf, because they have all that hair already. So now we got the front end done. We'll wrap this coming down the back, and this front shoulder we can give it some hair. So now we got the whole front done. We'll wrap his body coming back around. This will be one whole connected line coming down to the legs. And then come on the inside of the leg. It comes like kind of rides up on the side of the belly and wraps around. rounding down on the leg. That's kind of like it's just a swooping, kind of makes the leg itself kind of makes a snake like S. So you got the back end and the front end, and then add the toes. Bring the belly all the way up to the back of the leg. And then add in the back leg hiding in the back. I like to show depth by adding shadow. And a good trick with this part is just to fill in this back leg. Just fill it in black. And even just keeping it sketchy like that is pretty good. So we got the back legs. Now let's put the finishing touch on the tail. 2 swooping lines. Give it some fur. You can put as much time on the fur as you want. But it's always good to try and use restraint when adding in detail. You don't want to get carried away and spend too much time. And there you have it, your dire wolf. Give it a line to stand on, move some ground. Couple sketchy lines on the bottom to show shadow.